Hello, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. Welcome back to our channel. Welcome to Fagiola Chuma 254. On this platform, we discuss a plethora of issues. We discuss politics, social and economic welfare of our society. There are also other instances when, we're going to be delving into issues that have to do with our physical health. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the 10th day of 2025. We've got 353 days to go to another Christmas, to another New Year. Now, as usual, I normally tell you that if something is good in our society, if something is good with our politics, we're supposed to, praise it. If something is wrong, we call it out. Today, I want to take this opportunity to talk about a few politicians that I feel are doing the right thing. I feel they are fighting for the people and they're doing their representation the way they're supposed to do it. When I say this and talking of 10th, everybody remembers what happened yesterday on Citizen TV where Edwin Sifuna was having a discussion with, who was it? Manzo and the Kisumu senator. First of all, I mean, Nairobi voters, you might have flopped on voting for the governor, because so far I don't feel like what the governor has been doing is what you guys expected. He's performing below par. But you cannot say the same about your senator. I mean, on electing a senator, you did the best. ODM gave you the best. And when I say he's the best, it cuts across all cadres. Everybody knows Edwin Sifuna has been doing what he was elected to do. In fact, sometimes I find it so painful that there are instances when he wants to speak, he wants to say something, but due to the fact that ODM has been, in dalliance with the current government, sometimes Edwin Sifuna cannot talk. I really loved the way the way he articulated issues yesterday.
No, if the people confront people with guns and handcuffs and it becomes a shootout, isn't that a jungle law?
Tom Otiende is a member of the Senate. He's, I think, a vice chair of, is it Public Investments Committee?
Yes. Also in the security
even in the Senate, if his committee summons the governor of Kisumu, we cannot allow the deputy Owili to appear and tell us that this is the situation. He knows it.
Yeah.
So he's being clever with words. He knows for a fact that if you are summoned, the IG of police is an individual. He's an individual. You can't sell us stories that, oh, in fact, that is part of the contempt. That you umedharau an institution to an extent that you are summoned before Otiende's committee, then you send your PA, your PA to go and explain. And Otiende himself will not allow even that PA to open his mouth. So I don't know what he's talking about. Number two, Trevor, the state cannot tell us that they do not know the people doing this. The part of the social contract, when you decide to be a country, there are some of us, we all have rights to bear arms, but we cede that right to bear arms to the state so that it can take care of everyone. What these gentlemen are inviting us to is anarchy, because you cannot tell unarmed Kenyans, unarmed individuals, to confront people who are clearly armed. The result is not something that you can control, but we are being pushed there as Kenyans. I am very persuaded myself that this is something that now, if the state is saying it is not them, and we know it is them, it is not coincidence, Trevor, that just a few days before the police command is supposed to appear in court, then these young people are somehow released at various locations.
They are not released by the police.
That's what I'm telling you. It is not coincidence, Mheshimiwa Tom. We live in this country. It was not coincidence in 2016 that a few days after the NIS director appeared in court, the bodies were found in Oldonyosabuk. So it is not a coincidence. We know. And for anyone to tell us that they don't know what is happening or who is doing this, it is to actually acknowledge that as a state, you are unable to protect your people. Today morning, Trevor, if you go to the police station in Tom Otiende's rural home, there are a few chicken thieves being arraigned today. The police know, all the chiefs know every misconduct in the village, but somehow the country is being told that the police, the entire security apparatus, does not know what is happening here. For me personally, as a senator, I would actually propose that all these people be also summoned before committees of parliament. And unfortunately, if it is Otiende who's in the security committee, I think the first thing I will do as a whip in the Senate is to reconstitute that security committee so that we can have a proper conversation. Let Douglas Kanja come there. And I have met Douglas Kanja. He's an amiable guy. There's people within the state who tell these officers that even if you go or you don't go, nothing is going to happen. We want them to appear before committees of parliament, because part of parliament's role is to resolve issues of concern to the people. I don't think there is a greater issue of concern to the people of Kenya right now than the fact that you can just be picked up from the road and disappeared. So we want Douglas Kanja to appear before Senate. We want Nurdin Haji to appear. We want Mohamed Amin to appear. We want these abductees, every single person who has been a victim of abduction. These people need to tell Kenyans what is going on. All of them need to share.
But some of them are saying they've been threatened not to speak.
It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we have to put a stop to this, and we need to know who is doing these things and what is happening. So if you don't tell your story, how are we supposed to help? Because all of us over the Christmas period have been concerned about the whereabouts and safety of these young people. So you cannot tell us that you will not tell us what happened. Okay. We are all in this together, and today it is you, tomorrow it is going to be me. Okay. So we need to find an end to this problem, and I think that this matter should now come before the Houses of Parliament as an issue of concern to the people.
Okay.
Trevor, yesterday, and not just yesterday, all the times, whenever he's called to talk about an issue, Edwin Sifuna always articulates issues so well. He's youthful, he's articulate, he's brave, and he's well informed. How many of you guys can talk of your representative like that? I mean, he doesn't represent me, but whenever I hear Edwin Sifuna talking, whenever I see him doing something, be it in the demonstrations, when there were demonstrations, he was in the forefront. Whenever something happens and we feel pinched, I mean, currently, the person who talks for us, genuinely, whenever he talks, it's not like he's doing it for himself. It's always Edwin Sifuna.
Government will be working. Within ODM, there's people like Otiende who are fixated with power sharing. Everything he talks about is just who will be what and who will get what.
In all fairness, Otiende mentioned it here before even the broad-based government happened.
I understand that. I am telling you that there are those of us who are fixated on power. There are those of us who are fixated on fixing this country. And there's a distinction. And I have not said that it is not possible. But I have said in the past, you know, we need to learn from the mistakes we made in the past. One of the things that I have learned in the past, I'm beginning my 8th year as SG in February of this party. One of the things we've learned in the past is that we have a responsibility to advise our leaders. And the beauty with the party leader, Raila Odinga, is that he always falls back to his troops to advise him. And he listens to the advice. The advice that we failed to give in 2018-2022 was that you were associating with a government that was extremely unpopular and that we were going to end up carrying the burden of incumbency when indeed it was not our government. This is the exact same situation that we find ourselves in. But the responsibility on the people who believe in ODM, who believe in the values of this party, is to not make the same mistake we made last time by keeping quiet and saying, oh, let us just keep quiet, this thing will work out. It did not work out. We are not going to make the same mistake. We have a responsibility to say, and I've said it here, it doesn't matter if you are not performing as an incumbent, if you are doing the things that this government is doing, it doesn't matter who supports you, you will still come up short. And I've given you the example of what we did last election. We had a coalition of 26 political parties, including a sitting president. We still came up short, Trevor, because we did not address the issues of the people. And the incumbency, the presidency, all those things that were happening, including the bodies showing up in River Yala, the state of the economy, the demolitions, all of those things, we ended up carrying that burden. And I'm telling you, for as long as I'm SG of ODM, I am sworn to give proper advice to my party leader. I cannot go to Bungoma and be told by the people who supported Ruto that they no longer see him as somebody they can support. Then I come and report the opposite. I am not helping my party leader.
Should your party insist that this is the direction we're taking, what happens?
We will cross that bridge when we get there. I can tell you for a fact, Trevor, at the end of the day, my responsibility is to put things on record so that history can record that I warned that this is something that would still hurt us as a political entity. And honestly speaking, if you look at the political dynamics in the country right now, it would be very foolish for ODM not to field a presidential candidate. It would be extremely foolish. If you look at the math, President Ruto was declared president by a margin of 200,000 votes. All Raila needs to do, all ODM needs to do is to keep all its constituencies. We have not lost any of our constituencies.
Okay.
He has lost almost half of his constituency in Mount Kenya.
Okay.
How do you then support somebody? How do you help somebody when you can help yourself? That is something that does not make any sense.
That's why I saw. And we must praise such kind of people. We must give them a chance. We must build them. We must, back in the days, I told you the best security that a politician can have is the people. When a politician feels like he's safe anywhere he goes, because whenever he talks, he's talking for the people. That's the best security that a politician can have. And we are supposed to give Edwin Sifuna that security. How are we going to give him that security? Number one way of giving Edwin Sifuna security is supporting him. Let's support everything that he's doing, because he's doing it for us. If you heard him speaking yesterday, nobody can fault him for anything he said. Everything Edwin Sifuna talked about. Like, for instance, since when have you ever had a representative from Kisumu? I'm talking to the people of Kisumu. Since when have you ever had a representative from Kisumu articulating issues of the Mamboleo Road like Edwin Sifuna has done it? And it's not the first time he's doing it. He's been doing it over and over. You guys have a senator, and that guy, the guy who went to launch a toilet, Amabati toilet, not just a toilet, Amabati toilet. That's your senator. You've got a road that has been unfinished for close to 10 years now, and he's not been saying anything. And whenever he opens his mouth, it's like, man, I don't wanna. Today I don't want to ruffle feathers. I just want to praise Edwin Sifuna. I want to make sure he knows that we've got his back. He should know that we like the way he's doing things, and he should continue in that trajectory, because that's representation. That's somebody, whenever he is. The last time he went to the United States, people were waiting to hear what he was going to say. He never disappointed. And the good thing with Edwin Sifuna is that he's never afraid to stand alone, as long as he's standing for the right thing. Never afraid. You see, like yesterday, everybody on the panel, including the moderator, was asking him, the way you're talking, the direction you're taking, what will happen if they decide to kick you out? You heard what he said. He's not afraid to stand alone. And Mr. Edwin Sifuna, just know that you're not standing alone. You've got support from Nyanza province. You've got support from the coastal province. I can't talk about Nairobi because they're the people who elected you, and I know they're really proud of you. And the larger Western province. Guys from Western, you're really going round and round and round in circles, looking for a leader. You guys have one of the best. One of the best. Edwin Sifuna in Western province is an equivalent to Babu Owino in Nyanza province in Luo politics. He's an equivalent. This guy is cut across I mean, if you go to Northeastern, you'll find people who support Babu Owino. You go to the coast, even in Central Province, you find people who support Babu Owino. And this, I mean, we must build this kind of leaders. The leaders who stand for the right thing, even if it means it's going to finish them. We had Raila for a long time. We've had Raila, but then Raila was a dancer on the dancing floor, and it's always right to know when to exit the dancing floor and let other people take over. And I really feel proud that out of the branches of Raila Odinga, we've got leaves like Edwin Sifuna. We've got leaves like Wanyonyi in Nairobi. We've got leaves like Babu Owino. We've got leaves like Caleb Hamisi. Young, articulate, brave, and standing for the right thing. So today, in my previous video, I was bashing ODM members because some of you guys are misbehaving. And even Edwin Sifuna spoke about them. And he said, we're in a democracy. Everybody has the right to say whatever they want to say. But just because you have the right to say whatever you want to say, don't mean it's right. Sometimes you're saying something and it's wrong. And then when somebody talks like that, we've got our Edwin Sifuna to cover for us. We've got Edwin Sifuna to talk for us. We've got Babu Owino, to tell us that anybody who supports this government must have something wrong with his brain cells. We've got people like Caleb Hamisi, who says, yes, I support Raila going to AU. He deserves to go to AU, but I don't support the things the government is doing. You get it? So we're not just going to be bashing politicians every now and then. Sometimes we're going to bash you, but then there are other times when if you do something good, we're going to talk about it. And it's not just the youthful politicians. When I'm talking about those who've done well, it's not just the youthful politicians. People like Anyang' Nyong'o. Y'all know about the Kisumu governor. He's done so well to a point people are like, if it was possible to have a governor have an unlimited term limit, Anyang' Nyong'o would still be re-elected because he's worked and he's working and everything he's doing is visible. Doesn't talk too much, but he's working. So once again, for the politicians who are doing the proper representation as they should, wenye hawashughulikii tumbo yao, man, big up. We're going to talk about you, we're going to praise you, and we're going to fight for you as your backbone. Once again, if this is your first time bumping on this channel, I kindly request you to, subscribe to my channel. Let's hit 100 subscribers. It's been a long time. I know I had some haters. I'm back, and we need to get to 1,000 subscribers. But before we get to 1,000, there ain't no way we're gonna get 1,000 subscribers without getting to 100. So if it's your first time bumping on this channel, kindly hit the subscribe button and the like button. And above all, we need to talk. Don't just listen to what I'm saying. Go to the comment section and tell me what you think. What do you think of how Edwin Sifuna articulated issues yesterday on Citizen TV? You heard Edwin Sifuna, you heard Dan Manzo, and you heard Tom Otiende. All of them were talking. Who did you feel was representing you? Not just representing the party. The ODMSG. Have a nice time.